All right. Hey everyone, welcome to TLC Barrels podcast. And this week we have a special interview. I'd like everyone to say hello to Christine Joyner, and she's out of Georgia, and she is a independent distributor of Livewave patches. So she's going to tell us a little bit about how she got into them and also how they could benefit your horses or yourself. And hopefully we'll have good connection. It looks like it's having a little connection issue there, but can you hear me, Christine?
Hey Tina, yes, I can hear you perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and open that door back up because it didn't give us that problem when I had that door open. So hold on just a second.
Okay, no problem.
There we go. That way it'll keep us connected and not try to keep us shutting out. And thank you for the invitation. I'm excited to share. I have a real huge passion for LifeWave and our products. They work wonderful. The products actually doesn't do anything but open up the pathways. Your body does it itself. So the patches have been around. I've been in the company since 2018.
Okay.
Really love,
That's a long
enjoy
time.
sharing it with horses and people. And that's what's the beauty about it. It works for both human and riders. So it's not a
Yeah,
one product for anything and stuff. So I'm
right.
really
And
excited to be able to share with you about it.
yeah, I'm excited too. And I have had a little experience with them. My chiropractor introduced them to me a long time ago, and I only used the ice patches, which was the brown and the white one. And where she had me put them was like maybe sore hips or sore shoulders, even behind their eyes for calming and focus before my runs. So I would always be patched and ready for barrel races. I usually put one or two sets on my horses. And I even had one time a horse in the round pen had bumped its knee and it swelled up. So I put the brown one on the swollen part and the white one to the right of it. And the next day the swelling was completely gone. So I don't really understand the science behind it, but I definitely am more of a proof in the pudding. And it did help my horses be calm. It seemed to make them feel better. If the chiropractor said they needed a little extra help in their shoulders or hips or neck or anything like that, we even patched a couple of my high school rodeo kids for stifle and hawk points, and those kind of things. So as I mentioned, there's a little book that comes with it sometimes and shows you, and then they come in a neat little envelope, and there's different ones, and I'm going to let you explain all that. But the way you and I met was through my coaching group. You've been a member for a long time, and it's been fun being a part of your boys. And I always see the patches on your videos. When I critique your videos, you have your horses patched. So how long have you had horses and barrel raced?
Well, actually, I've had horses since I was a kid. I've always been passionate about them. We had them, and my parents got divorced when I was 9 years old.
Oh,
And so, unfortunately, from when I was a 9 to about 15, I did not have a horse. And then
oh,
bought my own horse again when I was 15, selling Avon. So,
oh.
I was very determined to get back
Yeah,
into the
you
horse
were.
industry again and have a
Yeah.
passion for them. And so when I was 20 years old, I started back. I actually started competing in performance horses, Western Pleasure, English Equitation, and so
Right.
some of the things that you teach in Tina's Spick, I already knew because I did barrel. I went into the reining world,
Yeah.
and in the reining world, you have to go fast. Well, I've always done pleasure, so we always went slow. And I was like, I'm going
Right.
fast, I'm going fast. They're like, no, you're not going fast. So my
Yeah.
sister ran barrels, so I said, well, let me just run barrels and see if I can get fast. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
You built
hooked.
your
And
speed. That's
yep,
good.
I
That's
actually,
great.
so raining, you do all this work and you're not able to compete maybe 3 or 4 times a year. In barrel
Yeah.
racing, you can compete every weekend if you wanted
If
to
you want to,
and
that's
everything.
right.
So
There's always something. Yeah.
yes,
And you can win money back, which is nice too. So,
that's
yeah.
right.
So,
And so
so
in
since 2018,
2000,
yep. So since
excuse
2018,
me.
you've been using the patches. Can you tell us a little bit about how they work and which ones you like to use, for horses, people, all of that?
Yes. So the patches actually relieve pain. So the AccuLife is for horses, and then we have AccuLife for horses and IceWave for people. They're the same patch, except for you get different instructions. And it's a
Oh,
two-patch system, and so you have a tan patch and a white patch.
okay.
Well, the tan goes on the white is on the right, tan's on the left, always. And
Always.
when you go down the legs, it's the reverse. But you'll have to get it's not hard to do. That's the
Right.
one good thing about a 5-year-old put a patch on the horse.
Yeah.
But what they do is literally relieve the pathway of pain. Pain is actually a blocked pathway. And so that's what they actually do is relieve those pathways.
Is it
And I
like
mean, it's simple.
is it
It's
like an acupressure point? Like I put one on here on my chest just to show an example of the patch, what it looks like. It's just a little round patch, and so is it more like acupressure? Is it like blocking something to do with infrared or sunlight or anything like that? How does it work?
well, it's kind of like you know how everybody does the magna waves.
Mm-hmm.
Simple thing like that, except for you do not have to have the plug-in to put it in there. It's the
Okay.
same concept as the microwave and the PMF, except for you don't have to have the outlet
Electricity.
and then have to sit there 20 minutes and stuff like that. It's the same concept. It's by using light therapy that relieves the body. So your body is actually made to heal itself. We just get in their way. And so it's, and another patch that I like is your Eon patch. And the
Okay.
Eon patch is actually for stress and inflammation, and it will actually relieve the inflammation within 20 minutes of actually applying it.
Oh wow.
And
Now I
a
never
lot of
used those.
things,
Okay, that's the Eon. Okay.
exactly, exactly. And
Okay.
that's what these two patches are actually the ones that are approved by Lifewave to use on the horses. Now, do
Okay.
we use more than that? Yes, I do. I have a lot in my toolbox because I know what the patches do and what they do for us. And one of them is energy patch. And it was when Lifewave was first invented that he actually invented these for the submarines. And so it was actually to produce energy for your body without having to consume anything. Because you know, when you're in the army, in the submarines, you can't eat everything you want to have all that energy. And so this
Right.
is actually a great product too.
Oh,
I don't know if you know about this one or not
no,
of what
no,
it
I
does.
didn't. That'd come in handy at a 3-day barrel race, wouldn't it?
Very much so, because at a 3-day barrel horse, is your horse going to get, or you going to get sore, and is your horse going to get sore? Yes.
Yeah, and tired
And so it's a
too.
great
Get so
habit to
tired.
have in your toolbox.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It
Okay.
is. And so another one I actually like to use is carnosine on the horses. It is Lifewave does not say you can use these on animals, okay? They do not have clinical tests. But
What's the
we
name of
do. They're
that
not
one?
going to hurt your horse.
And what's that one's
Carnosine,
name? Okay.
it's carnosine. It's for strength and stamina
Okay.
is what it's for. So it's really,
So,
really good. It's a really good pack.
so I only had experience with the Ice Wave. So when you use them, do you use a combination? I mean, does it have to be complicated? Can they just pick one patch to start off with, or do they
No,
need all the patches?
no, you and actually it's just what you're after. If you have a horse in pain, who wants to go give it Bute every day with the
Right.
complications that Bute comes with? Any
Right.
medication, if you look at it, it has complication and side effects. So my
Right.
thing is I don't want the side effects of the Bute. So if I find one in pain, I give it Aculife. Do I have to give it Aculife, put Aculife on it for every day? Probably not. The patches last is kind of like a battery in a flashlight and a battery and a remote controls in a remote. So when
Okay.
you use the remote, it uses it just then. But when you turn the flashlight on, it uses the battery life constant while you have it on. So the difference in that is that your body, everybody's body is different, and every horse pain level is different. So it pulls the pain from the patches. So that patch could actually last you 3 days. And I have had
Wow.
people tell me they patched, and the second day their horse is faster than it was the first day we patched them.
Yeah. I would do that at super shows. I would patch on Friday and leave them on till Sunday. But I know sometimes the packet says only
Yes.
leave them on for 12 hours, but I left them on for the 3-day show.
Okay, so reason why they say that, so because they did the studies and stuff, if you leave them on your skin, like a human skin, for 12
Mhm.
hours, it seals off that skin, so you don't want to seal your skin off. But for the
Oh,
horses with that fur and stuff, you're not sealing the skin like
yeah.
that. And I have had
Oh,
people leave them on. So that's why they don't recommend leaving them on the AccuLife for the 12 hours. And now
mm,
another patch that we have is the X39 patch,
mhm.
and it
Yeah.
raises your GHKU peptide,
And what is
and
that?
it is um,
What is
yes,
G?
X39
Yeah. What is GHK?
KU peptide. The GHKU peptide is a study they have done that actually takes your body and makes your body reproduce the stem cells. Okay,
Ah,
I have been running Mega Man for 13 years. Or no, actually, yes, 13 years. That's how long Mega Man's been running, and he is still clocking. He is
yeah,
21
he
years
is.
old. Most
Yeah.
people would say, well, yeah, most people would say that horse is too old to run. I say
Mhm.
as long as Mega Man's still clocking, I'm gonna keep Mega Man running.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
I don't know practice. I did have a bout with EPM with him a couple
Hmm.
years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually treated him with the patches, and I did do some other things with him, but I don't do the EPM protocols and stuff like that. I just watch him to make sure,
Oh,
and
wow.
don't, you know.
Yeah. So for your personal horses, what's a normal routine for a jackpot? What patch would you put on your horses? Does it vary? What would you do for your horses?
I always use Eon on the right side behind my bridle. That's the Eon patch. It's actually for stress and inflammation. It's stressful for him, and
Mhm.
King, I always patch his back points on his back, just because he gets sore in his back. It's just him.
Mhm.
Mega Man, I actually patch right behind him on his right behind his hocks, but in the back.
Mhm.
It actually is a point that helps pull the energy all the way up through the body,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's just different for different horses. You know,
Sure.
it's just what does the rider need.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
some people you don't want to patch for speed if the person can't handle speed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Some you might want to patch for energy. Others you might want to patch to calm down a little. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so
Okay. So what's a good experience you've had with a person, and what's a good experience example that you've had with a horse that you saw great changes right away? Can you give that?
oh yes. Actually, when my farrier had came over and she couldn't move her arm, I couldn't move her shoulder up or anything, and she didn't know anything about it. And I just asked her, I said, "Do you trust me?" She said, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." I said, "I'm gonna put this patch on you," and she's like, "What?" I didn't tell her what it was for, what it did, or anything. And so I
Hmm.
patched her. Before I patched her, I said, "Tell me how far can you move your arm?" And she showed me. So when I patched her, she could actually reach up behind, and she was like, "What? No way!" It was really funny because she didn't
That's
know anything
amazing.
about them, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So
and then
instantly, right away, she felt the
yes,
the movement. Wow.
yes,
That's neat.
yes, she
Yeah.
was able to
I
move. She
I
could
did
not move
see a
her hand
video.
behind to do anything like
Yeah, she
this.
could do it. Yeah. I did see a video once of them putting, and I also watched my chiropractor do it. They put the patches somewhere and then do the palpate again, and the horse would flinch. And then they'd put another set of patches and palpate again, and the horse wouldn't flinch. So I thought that was interesting to see that right away better.
Yes. Yes, it's
Yeah.
instant, and you know how long it lasts is, you know, it's like I told you, it's different with every horse, and it's
Yeah.
different with every person how long it will last too, and
Okay.
everything. And I think
How
one
do
of my
you get them?
famous things.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. The horses. What's your favorite horse memory?
Well, I went to my vet, and of course, you know, the vet wants to inject and do stuff and everything. And this was Mega Man, and I told him he went all through him, and I knew he had EPM, but I couldn't pinpoint it with him, I didn't tell him he had EPM.
Mhm.
And anyway, he kept blocking him and doing everything. And he was off in his right hind, and I said, okay. And he said, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to block this. Now he's off in his front right, and I'm like, what did you do to my horse? You broke him. I said he wasn't off in his front right to begin with, and so. He injected his SI. He went in his SI, but he went ahead and injected him to begin with. And I told him, I said, I don't think it was this. He said, no, it didn't make a difference. And I said, no.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what about EPM? And he said, he said, what have you been treating him with? And I told him, and he said, well, that wasn't, wasn't good enough for him. And so he gave me something else. And he said, I told him, I said, well, can I patch him and when I come back, if it's not fixed, I will let you inject him, but can I patch him first? He said, sure. And I patched him, and I come back, and he said, I don't know how you did it, but you did. And so he didn't inject him. My vet now, I don't inject, I patch. If he tells me something, he said, well, I know, just stickers here. And I said, thank you.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Yeah. So where did you patch him at?
I just patched him on the actual foot, where he was showing me he was out on and everything. Yeah. I just put the Eon patch on it.
Eon.
Yeah. So whatever was going
on it. A compensation thing because of the nerve block, or when you nerve block, it shows like if it was more lame on the back and then now a little lame on the front. Is that compensation, or did he know?
He didn't know. He didn't know what it was, but I just knew I wasn't injecting him. I told him, I said, if I'll inject him if I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really great. So, after that, were you able to just continue on with the patches and see him stay sound for competition then?
Oh yeah. I haven't done anything. He's staying sound. I think we ran the bottom of the 2D in the world that year.
Yeah, your times have been really good, so that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
So it's that winter time is what's getting me.
Yeah. It's really nice, though. It is really nice to be able to do something natural versus, traditional, like you said, doing the steroids or something injected. If you can do something natural without all the side effects, and it isn't as expensive either to do that. And if the horse is happier for it, why not?
Exactly. And then you're not compromising by with their kidneys or livers or anything else too while using the phototherapy patch. And that's what's really unique with it.
Yeah, it really does change. It really can change over the long haul because you're not getting to the root cause. It's just a Band-Aid, and it doesn't really, like you said, all the side effects eventually are going to add up, over time.
Yeah. Right. And with the X39, we're actually reversing aging with the X39, and you can tell it by blood work and urine samples and stuff like that. So that's what's really exciting, is that the scientist has actually figured out how to help us live longer, healthier lives and not be on medication where we don't enjoy it. And so it's a win-win for us and the horses.
Yeah. So for the X39, the placement for people is right on the back of their neck or below their belly button. Is that correct? Just one per day, or how often?
That is correct. One per day, and that is what they say where the scientific studies would have done is on the back of the neck. But actually, you can put them anywhere. Anywhere you have pain or you have compensation.
For today. Just to show them.
Yep, I put it there.
Oh, that's good. So it doesn't really matter then, just as long as it's on.
Exactly. As long as it's on, and that does have an attenuation on it. So this one is 12 hours on and 12 hours off. This is for sure. The AccuLife is when it stops working, but this one does have an attenuation. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. You remember to take it on. You remember to get up in the morning and brush your teeth, put your patch on. You brush your teeth at night, you take your patch off.
Take it off. Oh, that's a good way to remember it. So now when you use the actual AccuLife for the horses, if you're putting them on these spots, like for the shoulders or the backs or anything, do you find like sometimes people have like shampooed their horses or shoshing. How do you get them to stick? Like I used a drop of super glue to the hair. Is that bad? I mean, what's the best way to get them to stay on, especially if the horse's hair is shiny or soft or something?
Yeah, if you just shampooed your horse and they won't, or it is in the middle of July, down the legs is the
Mhm.
only part that I usually have problems with it staying on.
Okay.
And I do use just a tiny bit of super glue.
Okay.
That's, some
Yeah.
people will say that super glue is not good for the horse, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was wondering if there was any kind of glue that you have special or something. But I know my chiropractor, that's what she just put a drop of super glue. Like you said, if they're sweating a lot and stuff, sometimes the patches will fall off. So we just did a dab of super glue and it stayed on for the whole time after that. So, but I just did it on the,
that's
not on
right.
the center piece, but on the very outer edge. Does that make sense? Is that where you would
That
do
is
it
correct.
or? Okay. That's good to know.
That is
Yeah.
correct. You didn't want to put it on the
Not
inside
on
of
the,
it at all. You just on
not
the
on
very edge of it.
Okay.
And
Now, back a long time ago, there used to be a bead that came in the envelope. Is there a bead still, or just the patches now? And what was the bead
yeah,
for?
actually, there's still a bead in there. I think that has to do with something about Australia. That is why the beads are in there. And so we just throw the beads away. I don't know why, because the bead is not important at all. I
Yeah,
don't know why they did that.
yeah. I was curious
I
because
think
my
it's
chiropractor never used the bead, so I didn't know what the bead was for. So,
That's right. Yeah, it's just I think it's got something to do with the acupuncture points in Australia. I think their way they understand acupuncture point is that you have to have that stimulation with the
contact.
bead, but you do not.
You don't. Okay. Then
Mm-mm.
down under
No,
people,
just throw those away.
maybe their polar is the opposite or something. I don't
I don't know, but
know.
there is some people that are horses that are reverse polar, reverse energy too, and
Oh,
which is kind of interesting.
okay.
That you have to
So,
switch. You were patching one for calmness behind the eyes, and
yeah.
it didn't work. They had to reverse polarity, so you switch it around, and then
Oh,
you can do it.
oh, because I was always doing white right, so I'd put the brown on the left, and I'd always word associate white right, and that just helped me remember
That's
where to put things. But so you're
that's
saying,
right.
how do you know if the horse is opposite? Just how
If
they
you don't see
respond?
a change, like if one's acting kind of crazy and won't stand for the farrier and stuff, you
Mhm.
reverse the way you patched it, and it should work then.
Interesting. Interesting. Huh. I love that. So if someone was wanting to start doing this, but they don't understand all the different patches and they specifically want to use it for, say, inflammation or pain for their horse, or maybe for calming for the horse, which pack would you recommend they start with for their horse? And which pack would you recommend maybe they start with for their self?
If it's just a person for them, for the horses, always the AccuLife and the Eon is what I always say you want to keep in your toolbox. For a
Okay.
person, X39.
Okay.
If you're having an injury that you're dealing with, a cut you're dealing with, X39 always because
Okay.
of what it does.
The
But
healing.
if it's just for competition, pain, AccuLife and Eon.
I feel like neon. Okay. And how would did you have did you have any formal training? Do people need formal training, or can they just learn as they go? How does that work?
Actually, you have all the training you need with LifeWave. My sponsor trained me. Anybody that should join you with the LifeWave should train you. If
Okay.
you're in the network and you don't know what to do, there's a bunch of support groups, and I love helping people. So if you're already in LifeWave and you don't know how to use it, just reach out to me. I'll help you with it. But if you're
Okay.
not, let me sign you up and show you the best way to purchase them. I always show people how to get them at wholesale. I show people how to get them just as cheap as I can.
Yeah. And I
It's
was
a
going to ask
win-win
that.
because they come from the factory.
Yeah. I will, after we're done with this interview, I will put your link in the description so they can sign up or contact you for more information. But what would the prices be for a pack, and how many are in the pack, when you buy wholesale? So, when you're using them, what does it work out to be like per cost or something?
Well, if you're to get started with it, there's different packages with it. Normally, this pack of Eon is $69.95, $79.95 if you're not a member of LifeWave, $69.95, and if you buy more than multiple patches, you can mix them up. So you can buy these three for $49.95 a piece as a member of LifeWave. The X39 is the most expensive one, which is
Mm-hmm. Oh, did I lose you? Uh-oh, I think we have a little connection issue. Hopefully she'll come back online in just a moment. She was about to tell us about X39. Oh, we're reconnecting, so hopefully it'll come back on. I think these ones wholesale might be 90 or 100, but there quite a few in it. There's 30 patches, so that would be 30 days worth if you put one on a day. And she said, like she said, you could put it anywhere. And hopefully she can hear me, but we can't hear you, Christine. She's out in the country in Georgia, and her internet connection, she pays a lot of money for internet, she said, but maybe it's not going to connect us back. So, it does look like I lost her. So, hopefully she'll come back on. If she doesn't, I will definitely put in the description how to use the LifeWave patches. And and then she also gave me a way to reach her. So I'll put that in the description too. And my experience with Christine, because she's been a member in my group for a few years now, she's very knowledgeable when it comes to using these patches and where and when to use them. And like she said, if you sign up wholesale with them, they also teach you. And that comes with a little booklet with the Acu Life one. So it's worth definitely trying if you're looking to maybe try something natural for calming your horse, or possibly for inflammation. Like I said, I had good experiences with neck, shoulder, hips, also a swollen knee. We even put it on rodeo horses, stifle and hock points. And we saw, the horse work good. So there's something to it. I'm not much of a science girl, but I'm certainly a proof in the pudding. I'll give something a try, and if I see a result, and I'll just keep trying it. And like she said, it's pretty easy to put on. For the horses, you could add a drop of super glue if you wanted to, but if they're sweaty or, anything like that, show sheen or something on their hair, and you don't want it to fall off. But I guess she's not going to be able to come back. So I'm going to wrap it up here, but I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. And I really hope that you find what she has offered today useful. And thank you guys for tuning in. And I will always have, I'm going to try to add more interviews. I've already got 2 more scheduled after this one for 2025. And I'll be trying to have monthly interviews of industry, our industry's services or products that could be helpful for our horses or for us. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this interview. And Christine, even though we lost you, we appreciate you sharing your information, and thank you so much for that. Thank you.